I'm pretty much left alone with no boyfriend. Gay men can be very vicious. WeHo's like living in a adult nightmare version of Mean Girls, so it's kind of like you never really know what's genuine, what's insincere, what's real almost. So yeah, I think my biggest fear is just like being 50 years old and waking up alone in more ways than one, and kind of just having this career that's middle management at best, which is not a bad thing, but it's like, never any kind of like satisfaction with it, just kind of paying the bills, saving money, but like for what end, So yeah, I would say being alone is definitely the big one.
My biggest fear is failure. I was always brought up to be, in my family, to be as perfect as possible, and that came a lot from a really strict religion. And I came out about a year ago and moved across the country, and it was the first time that I had a big risk of failure, and that was the first time I really tried to face it. But I think that's still just ingrained in me of wanting to try to be the best I can be, and I'm still trying to learn it and be comfortable with making mistakes and growing from them, but I think that's something that's always been instilled in me, is just always being successful.
I think that my biggest fear is probably rejection. I always really have strived to be accepted and loved for who I am and everything that comes along with that. And I think I've felt rejection like before, and it's like I don't want to have that feeling again. And I really like, my biggest fear maybe would be like rejection from those around me that I really care about.
I mean, I guess my biggest fear would be not accomplishing what I want to. I mean, I have so many aspirations and goals and things that I want to do and things that I need to do, and if I just don't do it, I don't know, I don't feel like I should feel guilty if I don't. I think that's something that I really need to work on and get to. I think it's also a big fear is failure, I guess. Failure to not succeed. I guess failure to, I don't know, just not accomplish things I need to. I think that's pretty much the biggest thing right now.
I want to be like real here. I'm afraid of not knowing what's next. And probably not having the control that I want over what comes next. And I'm also consciously not moving my hands. So there's that. Does that happen? I feel like people get conscious about it and then they don't do anything. Right?
Sometimes.
That's the thing too, though.
That's part of it.
She's good.
Yeah.
That's probably the only fear that's coming to mind. Otherwise, in general, I'm afraid of being afraid. I will if I feel afraid of something, then I try to lean in because I don't want to have that fear anymore. The ocean.
Why?
Because we haven't discovered it all, and tsunamis scare the shit out of me. I have nightmares about it all the time. Yeah. Drowning. Yeah. Getting crushed by a wave. Tsunamis, mainly, for sure. Yeah. I am afraid of vulnerability and showing my true self as I discover my true self. I'm afraid of people seeing me through my evolving states, because I'm always changing. So
I hope people are gentle along the way as they meet me as I grow. So being vulnerable along the way is challenging sometimes, opening up to people. And allowing motion to come and flow like that, that can be hard sometimes.
Chuck E. Cheese, that rat. The rat is horrible. He looks horrible. He's horrible, and clowns. Clowns is nasty. They look weird.
Dog. What about dogs?
What you mean? They got teeth. They can eat you.
I'm afraid of my partner dying, or myself dying beforehand. So I think I would be better coping with it than he would. That's my biggest fear. You made me cry. So yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Losing a loved one, and I don't know, the just the aftermath of destruction, in anything, just life in general, especially loved ones. So I think that's my biggest fear.
I don't know what I'm afraid of. I think my biggest fear is probably loud noises. Like when a motorcycle goes by, right? And like it makes that vroom sound, and it's just like really loud and obnoxious for no reason. That just blows my mind. I don't like that. That's about the only fear I can think of. That and death. Death is like something that's always on my mind. Like life after death, just happening after that. Is there a God? Is there an afterlife? Yeah, I don't know. That's like those are probably the only two things I can really think of right now.
What am I afraid of? Oh man, mostly the unknown.
What am I afraid of? All kinds of things. I can't specify. There are a lot, especially in this day and age.
What's one thing?
For reals, growing old and not being able to keep up with Apple, internet, and all the savviness, I feel older every day. Every day.
Hate. People not being kind, and the world not becoming a better place.
All right.
And I'm also afraid that you might not be the happiest you can be as a person, but you deserve it.
Spiders.
What about spiders?
They have 8 legs and they're freakishly small.
I am afraid of being alone when I'm getting older.
Something I'm afraid of is my temper, because I feel like that I lose my temper very quickly and it can go from 0 to 100 real quick. Yeah.
I'm afraid of failing.
Going broke.
Anything else?
Going broke. Polyester. And that's it. Well, I used to say I wasn't afraid of anything hardly, but then my daughter became 15 and had boyfriends, and I was afraid of losing my daughter. And the only reason I even came to Hollywood was because my daughter was stuck here and I got her out of here and she's in a better place. So I try not to be afraid of anything anymore, but I think I'm afraid of like not having my family and friends back. That's the bottom line.
Failure.
The future.
What about the future?
I guess not achieving the goals I want.
Disappointing others?
Death.
I guess ultimately I'm afraid of not being successful in my endeavors in life, whatever that may be.
I would say like being trapped in a situation where I didn't have like control over how to overcome it, maybe?
The dark.
What about the dark?
Not knowing what's out there. Especially when I'm alone. I can't. I gotta run. Anything else?
Is there?
Like any other fears that I should be?
I don't know. Do you have any other fears?
Before I had my kid, I wasn't so afraid of heights. Now that I have an unbelievable fear of heights. I can't rock climb like I used to. If I look down, I get that sinking feeling. Whatever I don't know what people call it. I forgot what it was. But yeah. Other than that, just those two main things I can name on the top of my head.
What do you think that is?
What do you mean? What do you think that is?
What do you think that now that you have a kid, you're afraid of heights?
I don't know. Other than like not trying to leave my son behind. I guess that's it.
Death.
What about death?
I'm afraid that when I leave, there's going to be more people worried about me than I think. And I hope one day that when I die, my daughter and my son, they're ready for it, and it doesn't ruin them the way I think it would ruin me.
Pray to God.
What about dying?
About dying? I'm scared, dog. She's still here. I don't know what my son's gonna go in the afterlife. That's the only thing I'm afraid of. That's out in the hand. He can take you away anytime.
I'm a pretty famous guy, by the way.
Yeah.
I really mean it.
I'm afraid of public speaking. It's hard for me to speak in front of peers or adults or anyone, really, in a larger group. Unless it's something that I'm confident about speaking of. But if you want me to teach a math lesson on division, then don't ask me.
I am afraid of public restrooms. One time I walked inside like the stall and I saw like a big old shit like on the floor, and like the guy like put like some stuff like gum in like inside the shit, and then there was like ants all over it. Like they're creating like a whole entire colony like around this shit. Right? And I don't know, like after me seeing that, I just went inside the restroom and I took a shit like right outside of it.
I'm afraid of I'm afraid of my wife when I do something wrong.
What about her makes you scared?
What makes me scared? When I get home too late.
What are you scared she's gonna do?
What I think she's gonna do? She's not gonna feed me.
I'm afraid of snakes because I hear so many stories about snakes and stuff. It kind of scares me like a lot. If I see a snake in a cage, I'm gonna jump. Guys, I just don't like snakes. I don't. I'm scared of snakes.
I get scared of getting bad grades because when I get home,
you finna get whooped? No.
No, I'm not gonna get whooped. If I get bad grades, I'll get my phone taken. Then I want to go out with my friends. Then I want to watch TV.
What am I afraid of? I'm afraid of myself. Just because yourself, you can get yourself in the most trouble. So that's what I'm afraid of.
What am I afraid of? Clowns.
What about clowns?
Everything. Absolutely everything. Even when I was little, never really was a clown fan.
Rats.
What about rats?
They creep me out. When I was a little kid, I seen one crawling on me when I was asleep, and ever since then I've been super afraid of them. Anything else? Good. Rats.
I am most afraid of my children being sick. Health issues. Fear of failure. Just like pursuing something and just messing up completely. I guess failing. Yeah. It sucks.
I think
needles and bugs. It's just all
Needles in bugs?
needles just needles and bugs just just coming towards me or touching me. It's just freaks me out.
我最怕蛇。
Not being successful.
I'm afraid
Long
not having
question for
teeth.
free ice cream.
And
My sister getting A's in
coffee.
class.
And my dog's dying.
I'm afraid of failure and success. I'm afraid of old men and disappointing my family.
I'm afraid of the ocean because we don't know what is fully in there, and ocean does not care. They will kill you. So yeah.
I'm definitely afraid of being alone.
Smoker getting A's in class.
I don't know. I would go with being alone.
I'm afraid of being alone, and I'm afraid of being a failure to like myself and my family and the people that I guess are counting on me to do what I should. I'd say I'm scared of falling, not heights, but the feeling of falling. Because of that, I'm sometimes scared of roller coasters and flying. Flying in airplanes scares me.
What am I afraid of? Failure.
What about failure?
It's scary. It's scary concept. I don't like feeling like I can't do something. It's a little disheartening.
Well, I'm not really afraid of like nothing, but I'm afraid of to lose like my son and my wife. But other than that, I don't think I'm afraid of nothing else.
I don't know. I guess like failing.
Being hit in the face.
Why?
The thought and the pain of being hit in the face is something that, like, even seeing people get hit in the face, I can't handle it. The thought of it just creeps me out. Huge fear.
I would say I'm afraid of being alone. What am I afraid of? I'm afraid that my children will not get along when I die.
I'm afraid of very, 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 very fast roller coasters like I find in Disneyland.
Losing my original song.
Death.
What about death?
The fact that it's infinite.
The thing I'm afraid of probably is being truly very much alone. But other than that, I don't really think there's very much to fear.
I'm afraid of being alone. Being lonely. J'ai peur que Marseille ne regagne jamais la Ligue des Champions.
What I'm afraid of is losing my parents.
Mostly, I used to be afraid of death, but now it's completely about rattlesnakes. I don't like them, even if they're like behind a box or anything. I don't like rattlesnakes.
Failing. Not being able to reach the goals that I want to reach. I came here from Orlando 6 months ago. I found a job. I'm working for the government, and so failure is my